we got a fun one this week. Yep, another green turd. This one, the previous owner said that it is leaking behind the alternator, right below, it's really hard to see right now, but right below the intake manifold. So right where that bolt is, on the right side of that bolt, down about an inch is where he's saying it's leaking. You have to take off the alternator to really be able to see it. But what we're gonna do, because I'm not just gonna start tearing things apart until I actually know where it's coming from. So I put the alternator back on and we're gonna go get gas because we're almost out of gas. So we're actually gonna try to rush over there without even getting it up to temp. And then we're gonna come back and let it kind of just sit there and idle. And once I see it start dripping, we'll shut the car off, pull the alternator off really quick, and try to see exactly where it's coming from. Because coolant doesn't usually leak from an intake manifold. If anything, it's probably the timing cover, which also sucks to do, but this Jeep has 230,000 miles. Runs and drives good, so it deserves to have some new gaskets if that's the problem. So let's go to the gas station, see if I have enough gas to actually make it over there. Right up, baby. It's hot in here. What a view. The alternator, I don't think you can hear it. Not the alternator, the AC compressor is pretty bad. Anyways, let's get going. We're so close! I'm just kidding, it's right down the road, we're good. Ah! We're not gonna make it! Nah, I'm just kidding, we're fine. Way too much. Come on, just a little bit. Well, I just got a freaking shower. Could probably just take this thing off, but I really don't want to. Haven't even started it, we already got a leak. It's leaking off the side of the block right up there. I think it's time to pull the alternator. Let's see if I can get a better, well, yeah, I think it's time to pull off the alternator and see exactly where it's coming from. Guys, I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached, okay? I lost the clip. I lost the clip that was supposed to be right after that one. Right after I found the leakage. But it's lost, I can't do anything about it. So, lesson learned. Pay more attention, okay? Anyways, I had taken off the alternator. It was leaking out of the top of the timing cover, so it was not the intake. And so I took off the alternator, the AC compressor, the power steering pump, and then the bracket that holds all of those on the motor. And now we're taking a look at the water pump because I did notice that some of the bolts were loose. So we're gonna take a look at those and go from there. So these water pump bolts seem like they're a little loose. Well, that one's fine. This one was pretty loose. So I'm gonna get the harmonic balancer and water pump pulled so I can get this fixed. Tightening that bolt just kind of helped me see how the problem happened. I think it's just higher mileage motor it finally wore out because most of the water pump bolts were torqued, so it wasn't just from being under torqued. Anyways, let's get to work. What was that? What just fell? Oh. It's okay, guys. It was just a bolt. A little rusty in there, but I ain't gonna worry about that right now. Ew. That's a crusty sound, dude. We're gonna guess and say that we are a 13 mil. Ooh. So good at guessing. 1. Remember, keep track of your bolts. I'm saying that so that I remember to keep track of my bolts. Boom. Beautiful. So much easier with an impact. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. That grossness needs to go. That needs to not be there. So we're gonna put it on the floor instead. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, we're fine. A little slack, but nothing that's gonna cause a big deal. That seal didn't want to come out. I tried probably 3 different things. Finally got her out. I said, you can't stay there. Sorry. Even though you didn't leak, still gotta change the seal. So now, I'm gonna lube her up so that the seal can slide in there nice. Just use some white lithium grease. Well, that's all I have. You don't have to use that. You can use whatever you want. There we go. Seal is in. Just give it a little. Perfect. We got our timing cover all ready to go. Got our thin layer of RTV on there because I love that shit. It never leaks. We're going to just pop her right back into place. Timing cover's on. We're gonna let it sit for an hour so that the RTV can kind of set, and we'll torque it down. We can get everything back together. So in the meantime, we're gonna change this thermostat out just because we have it right there. Dang. Look at all that junk in there. That's like, I'm trying to get you a good view of that. That's like rat poop and stuff. Yuck, it's a good thing we're changing that nasty thing. Ooh. Ew. Ew, look at that. That's nasty. That's garbage. It's hot in here. Alrighty, a little thermostat's back on. That needs about an hour before we can torque it, and then put it back together, fill it up, and see how bad it leaks still. Well, today's the day, people. We are gonna see how well I did on this gasket and if there's any leaks. The RTV's had a whole night to settle in there and dry. What was that? Oh, I shouldn't have used RTV on my timing cover gasket? Well, maybe you should use more RTV on your timing chain gasket. Don't talk to me. Just kidding, I'm sorry. Okay, first gallon, let's go. Well, let's go fill up one more. We're so close to starting it. So close. Well, she's been idling for about 30 minutes now. She gets a little rough here every once in a while. No leaks. That's from what came out of the radiator cap when I was bleeding it, but no leaks. We're good there, but it is doing a weird little rough idle intermittent thing. So gonna take it for a drive as long as I need to until I can get the check engine light to come back on. It did come on. I didn't have a battery in it. I shut it off, and obviously to erase the code. So we're gonna take it for a drive, see if we can get that check engine light to come back on and get it to idle ref again so we can see what's going on there. So test drive went really good. Didn't idle weird. I think it's because I took the battery out while it was running and the alternator might just be a little weak. I don't know if it's the original. There's no way it's the original, but haven't got it to do it. So I'm gonna say she's running good. She's not leaking other than a little battery acid from having the battery sideways in there because it's the wrong one and the terminals are the wrong way. But let's check it. Yeah. This one has the same problem that the last Jeep I did had, where only the driver's window works. And again, it does not have, we stole this door panel, but this one does not have a window switch, which is why this one's not working. These ones, neither of them are on the track. So I need to open that up and see what's going on there, if the track's even in there, or if this just fell off. I'm not sure. But we're gonna get a window switch on there, and then we'll see if that one works, and then start focusing on these, and then get the rest of this thing cleaned up. And then for the next day or two before I post it, I'm still gonna let it idle for about an hour, drive it a couple times, make sure that she's still working good, because you never know if the problem is just super intermittent right now. But yeah, let's get started on this window. Switch is in. Window works now. So that's one window down. And if we crawl across the seat here, I'm going to hit this one. You can hear it. So that one works. And nothing from that one. So it looks like the arm actually came disconnected from the track. Usually there's a bushing that goes back there. So we'll pull a motor out of the parts Jeep with a new track, get this all situated. So we got both windows fixed. The window regulators from the parts Jeep didn't fit, so I had to go spend $70 for 2 regulators and motors at the junkyard. But passenger rear, check. And driver rear, boom. I mean, the AC don't work, so least I can do is make the windows work, right? Now we need to get the door panel back on this door. I pulled that from the parts Jeep. It's gray versus the black in here, but closest we got, and with it being a high mileage Jeep and an older Jeep, it'll be fine. I don't think anyone's gonna care. Yeah, that ain't too bad. Now we need to pull the idle air control valve out so we can kind of see how dirty that is, get that cleaned off. Then we'll clean the throttle body, and that'll just help us be all nice and clean. Yucky. That's the definition of yucky. Okay, she's ready to fire up again and make sure everything checks out for a second time. You never know, honestly, especially with these. Sometimes they'll run perfectly first time you drive it, and the second time they'll act weird. So we're gonna do this like 3 times a day before we sell it, just to make sure. Whew. Like she's brand new. Well, test drive went as good as it could. I had this thing running for probably about an hour and a half. Did the idle thing once. It was just a quick little drop down, come back up, did it a couple more times, and then it stopped. No code. Then I ran it for another like 45 minutes after that, didn't do it again. So there could be a sensor or something. It doesn't do it while you're actually moving. It's more after idling for a while. So right now I'm just gonna start with cleaning it, get it all, you know, all prettied up and ready to post for sale. Take it on one more drive, and then if it doesn't do it again, that's just something you disclose when you sell it. It's gonna be a cheap one, so nobody's gonna expect it to be perfect. So let's get to cleaning this thing and be done with it. On these Jeeps, it's very common for your back door not to open. So I like to cut a little hatch right here, and it lets you get to the actual door pin so you can lift it up and open it manually, and you cut it tight enough to where you can just pop it back in there. You don't even know it's there. like that. There's my door pin. And we're open. Okay, back to cleaning. Well, we are very close to done. We just got to throw some new wheels on. Same as these ones, nothing special. These ones are just getting kind of bald. These ones actually still have some decent tread on them. So we're gonna throw these 4 on, and I'm gonna darken the plastic with my heat gun again. Just makes it look really good, brings it back to life. Then we'll wash it, and then she'll be ready to sell. Wheels are on, can't even tell you did anything. Tires are good tread though. Got the for sale signs on. And got it all cleaned up as good as the old paint will clean up. We got her listed for $1,800. This one's a little cheaper because of the higher miles, and it still has a few little quirks here and there, but it runs and drives great, doesn't overheat, doesn't leak a ton, just a little bit of oil. So we'll see if we can sell this thing. We'll put it on the side of the road right in front of my house so the people on the road can drive it, yeah, they can drive it, can see it, and then we'll post it on KSL, Craigslist, and Marketplace. And we're gonna see how well we do on this one. So I'll keep you posted. Guys, we just had another successful Jeep sale. This one was on the lower side of the profit, but it was a higher mileage Jeep. The body wasn't in perfect condition, and those two combined just, you know, make for a lower asking price. But it's still a running and driving 4x4, and we got her sold. So I had her posted for $1,800. A couple days later, I got an offer for $1,500. Guy shows up today, hands me the cash. He took it away. As for the breakdown, I bought that Jeep for $500. We're in it $279.91 in repairs, which brings us to a total of $779.91 that we are into it. Sold it for $1,500, and profit after that is $720.91. And profit is profit, guys. I mean, it's not, you know, I usually like to make at least $1,000 off of the vehicles I'm selling. But when it comes to stuff like that, you know, easy fixes and something you can pick up for that cheap, profit's profit. Even if it's $200-300, it's $200-300 more than you had before. So another good flip. On to the next one. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more. I would love to do some different types of flipping videos as well, because that is what I do full time. So we'll see you guys later.